Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Racing Bros NASCAR podcast, episode number 14. So, we haven't been back in a while. So, how you doing, Brian?
Good, man. It's nice to be back, gotta say.
I know it feels so weird. We haven't recorded one in like 2 weeks, and it's so weird doing one. It feels like we're doing
Oh,
the
yeah.
first episode.
Come a long way since then.
Yeah, I know. With all the downloads and listeners that we've gained, we appreciate you all. But yeah,
Very
it's
much.
It's weird now. You know, we had two races that we're gonna have to review.
Oh, yeah.
I would totally with our usual prep. I usually write like a Google Doc and I send it to Brian. I'm like, oh, this is kind of layout. I mean, it's mostly the same every week. I just kind of put our talking points. But this week I totally forgot until like 20 minutes ago. I'm like, oh wait, I didn't do that at all. And then usually I do it by like Monday. It's just me and Brian just totally forgot. So, we're going off the cuff this week. But we got a lot of races to review, and then we're going to preview Dover. I almost said Coda. And I'm like, wait, what? That's
More
2 weeks.
week.
Let's just preview every race. Just
There you
coming
go.
up. Just leave one like one huge episode, 5 hours long. All
Oh,
right, so
no.
race 27. But yeah, we're back. Episode 14. So what you been doing these last 2 weeks, Brian? Just dying
Enjoying
without.
myself some racing, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 weeks of NASCAR and 2 weeks of Formula One in the same week. So,
Uh,
I mean,
we
hey,
don't
man.
we don't talk about that trash wannabe
Hey.
sport.
No, it was pretty good. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I I I live for racing now.
Oh, you
Like that.
live. You live
Yeah,
for race.
man. That
You
it's fun. It's fun to watch.
you don't live for Reese's Fine Foods or Auto Owners Insurance. Simple
Maybe
human
if
sense.
they sponsor us, I could be.
Oh, we would eat all the Reese's food. Don't they make like potato salad? Like
They make
that's
a lot of stuff.
do they? The only
I'm
thing
pre
I
I'm pretty sure they do lunch meat too, right?
ew really.
I think so.
The fuck's getting Reese's lunch meat? It was like, oh yeah, let me get some Reese's lunch meat.
They do have potato salad. I know that for sure. And then they have like
But
hummus, right?
I think that ew.
Macaroni
That might
salad.
even be worse than lunch meat. Reese's hummus. Just get fucking what's the one? It starts with the S. Everyone gets it. Is it Saber? It's something. I don't remember. But it's literally the like little thin fucking container, and it has the S on it. I literally got some in my fridge, but I am fucking too lazy to get it. So some with the S. I know that. It's the one everyone gets.
I
If
was actually wrong. It's not lunch meat.
it's
It's just different types of like deli salads, sides and entrees, dips, Mexican foods, cut potatoes.
they I know they make like mashed potatoes, like in a
Yeah, they
big.
do.
I know they do that. There are a lot of
Yep.
potatoes. Can we do
Yeah.
some? All right, so we're going off
And
the.
macaroni.
See, we're going off the cuff here. We're gonna look up some Reese's food.
Oh boy.
Like, what are some Reese's options we got? I like how it put. Oh, they got scalloped potatoes. Reese's Fine Foods. 1.2 billion is their revenue.
That's good.
Jesus. They make potato salad, deviled egg potato salad, macaroni salad, deviled egg or macaroni salad. Who would just get a fucking jar, like an ice cream fucking gallon size jar of coleslaw?
Hey,
Oh,
there's people out there, man.
they make Southern pimento cheese,
Southern pimento cheese.
and then
Really?
and then they have smokehouse barbecue beans, and then beef barbecue beans. Where do we
Oh
get this
my.
at? I don't want to
Yeah,
buy. I don't want to buy.
Sam's Club.
I don't want to buy the big fucking coleslaw. I want to buy the baked beans.
Now
God, this
that
this
now that
is
we got you guys hungry,
this is so useless. Ah, it's not in. Are you serious?
it's at Meyer.
Is it really?
Yeah,
We can't say that.
or Acme in Cleveland. For any of our Cleveland viewers.
I thought that was a. Thought that was a fucking cartoon or something.
Really?
No, not a cartoon. It was part of a cartoon. The fucking isn't the dynamite and fucking. Why can't I think of anything? The Roadrunner. Is it? Oh, God. Well,
I think it is actually.
Oh well, we can get.
It's the company.
We can get the Saint Bistro's shredded potato casserole. All right, it actually does not look bad, but I'm not paying $4 for a pound of that. All right, wait.
We need to get back on topic.
Oh, no. Hang on. We gotta look up Acme.
It's actually a thing in Roadrunner.
Yeah, it is. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
It's a
the
fictional
company-
corporation that features prominently in the Roadrunner. Did Acme get their? I wonder if Acme, like the actual store, like, got it from there.
I mean, it was established in 1891, so
You never know. Well, this has been a weird podcast.
yes, it has already.
We
What a way to come back.
We just wasted 7 minutes talking about reese's. All right, now auto owners insurance. Let's talk about that.
No.
All right, well, if you guys are still here, I don't know why you'd be after that crap. We're gonna review two races. We're gonna review Kansas that we missed 2 weeks ago, and then Darlington. Well, 1 week ago, and then
Yeah,
we're
it'll
gonna
be
get
last week.
we're gonna get Darlington as well. We're gonna do 2 reviews. Not a lot of news this week because I didn't really look at it. So that's your news for the week. Look at Bob Pockrass on Twitter if you want some news. Because
Bit of Bob.
yeah, we're plugging Bob because I'm too lazy to go look up some news. So you're welcome. And then we're gonna preview Dover. Probably no questions to be answered. We're just gonna talk. So then,
I do actually have 2 questions that came to mind.
well, what's your question, Brian?
We'll do our normal thing.
I want to answer them right now. What?
You want to? Okay. So with the way that the year has been going so far, who do you think it's too early to call who you think the Cup championship winner is going to be,
I mean,
or do you think you can put a finger on it right now?
I already know who's gonna be.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, he drives a Ford. His name's Ryan Newman. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's too early. A lot of things can happen. We thought Harvick was a lock for the Final Four, and then he choked so bad in the playoffs. So, you never know. Way too early, I would think. There's some favorites. I think Larson's fast. Truex is also fast. You got to look at Hamlin, even though he doesn't have to win. He's like 9 top 5s or whatever. So, you got to look at those 3, I would say.
Yeah. And then speaking on Denny, do you think he's going to get a win this year at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it has to happen. Law of averages. He's been too close, You just can't get 9 top 5s and just not, fall into a win.
Yeah.
He'll get a win.
Especially, he's choked, 3 this year already?
Yeah. I mean, Richmond.
hurts.
Ugh. I'm just kidding. It was good for me because I'm a Bowman fan, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think Denny will get a win. I mean, there's no.
Okay.
I think it's a for sure lock. He'll probably get multiple, I would say. Just law of averages. He's hot. No reason to think he's not. I mean, he's had, 5 or 6 wins the last 2 seasons. So, no reason to think he's not going to be able to get a win. So.
True. Okay.
What do you think? What's your opinion on your own question?
So for the Cup Series thing, I agree with you entirely. I do think it's actually too early to call because, I mean, Truex has been dominating. He dominated 3 races so far this year.
Right.
Uh, he has a really good car. The Toyotas are just looking good in general. Um, but then you still have Hendrick, who's doing really well this year.
Right.
So I do think it's too early to call. And as for Denny, I mean, I feel like it's fairly obvious. If he doesn't get a win this year, then that's just one big disappointment.
I would be absolutely shocked if he didn't get a win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, law of averages, he'll get a win. And then, NASCAR is not like F1, where we have a year-long championship. It comes down to one race, Brian.
True.
So one race.
Yeah.
Because we're special. But, yeah, so, yeah, Denny will get a win. I would bet the farm on it that Denny will get a win. And then, the favorite. I mean, Eric Almirola's looking pretty. No, I'm kidding. That would be.
Oh boy.
Can't even get 20th with points. No, I'm just kidding. There's an Almirola fan that's pretty pissed. I'm sorry. I apologize. He's like, stop. I would be pretty mad too if someone was just like, Almirola sucks. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, people do it to Bowman every week, so.
Well, yeah, that's a fucking cesspool of Twitter. Or I don't even want to look at Facebook comments. Don't even get me started on that. Jesus, I don't want to know what they say. But yeah, so now let's review Kansas after that, weird intro talking about fucking potato salad.
Yeah, there it is.
And then, asking if Denny's gonna win. What a terrible question.
Okay, you know what? You didn't even make questions for this week, so I don't want to hear it.
Hey, man, sometimes the host forgets. That's why you got to pick me up. And, you picked me up. So, you made some great questions, Brian. I appreciate your effort towards this, joint effort in the podcast. See, we haven't been here for 2 weeks, so we got to make a quota of 2 hours. So, I'm just trying to fill time.
Quota of 2 hours.
We got to give our viewers back. We haven't been, they've been wondering, what are they going to say?
They're just looking at the episode. They see 2 hours and they're like, I'll listen to like a quarter of it.
They just start refreshing our page. They're like, it's Wednesday. Where is it? Start banging their head against the wall. Where is it? I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's talk about Kansas, I suppose. So I'm gonna be totally transparent. I didn't fucking watch it.
I did.
I watched the 15-minute review of it, and then I saw some laps, some highlights. I got the gist of it. It's Kansas. Darlington, I did watch, so. Kansas, I watched the 15... I mean, we're guilty on it. I watched the 15-minute fucking review, because I'm sorry, I didn't really feel like watching Kansas. Decent race, though, but it's not one...
It was a pretty good race.
It's not one I would go back and be like, ooh, gotta watch that. So, sorry if I'm not all the way, reviewing. But I got the gist. I did see some green flag action, actually. So I saw some. I saw, I think, all of stage 1. And then kind of stage 2 and 3, I just kind of looked at the highlights. And then, I got something to say about the fucking tire. Just sitting there.
Yeah,
but
I'd imagine.
Alright, so review. So, Keselowski started on the pole, and then we had the stage winners of Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. They're probably the strongest cars out there today. Last week, whatever, just pretend it's today. Today. Hamlin was coming up strong at the end, but then he hit the wall because, Denny Hamlin choke job. And then I was looking early on. It kind of seemed there was a bit of an air bubble for, the lead. Until Kyle Busch came, it looked like William Byron was stuck behind the 2. So it was like last year's Kansas race where they couldn't pass the leader. But then Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson got past Brad. So I don't know what that was about because this package has a mind of its own sometimes. Sometimes races well, and then other times you can't pass the leader. That was kind of a both scenario within the same stage. Nothing changed really. It just sometimes this package is weird, like how you can go for the lead and stuff. But yeah, it was a little weird with the air bubble. The stage 1 finish was actually pretty fun to watch between Kyle Busch and Larson. Stage 1, that was pretty fun to watch. And then also, this is our 10th different winner in 11 races, so we're keeping on the trend. You know, maybe we'll get 25 different winners for the playoffs. And then some quick other notes. The 23 struggled. He got into the wall a little bit and just kind of killed his car. I'm kind of surprised by that they struggled that bad. RCR was pretty quick today. Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon was pretty fast. The 99 finished 11th, so that's a good run for Trackhouse. After a Hamlin choke job and hit the wall, he had a tire go down, he had a pit. You know, managed to finish 12th. Even on his worst day, he finishes 12th. So it's kind of the start Denny Hamlin's having this season. And then, you know, late in it, Stenhouse spun. We had a late restart. And then with about 10 laps to go, Christopher Bell got loose, collected Stenhouse and Ryan Preece. So then we had a final restart. About 5 or so to go. I think it was a green-white checkered, actually. And it was... Who was the front row? I think it was Kyle Busch, Blaney, whoever was third.
Larson.
I thought Larson was fourth.
Larson was fourth.
Yeah,
because he was pushing Blaney.
Yeah, and then Larson just essentially
and
shoved...
Was Keselowski third?
I think so, probably. Yeah, I mean, probably. So we're just going to say Keselowski was third. But green-white checkered. You know, everyone's going for the win. In turn 1, Larson did not let off of Blaney. I don't know if you thought it was Talladega or something, but he literally just shoved him in the corner. Yeah. And Kyle Larson gets in the wall. Blaney gets all loose, but he actually saves it. And, you know, they finished in, like, the 20s. Mm-hmm. So they finished with a bad day. I don't know what Larson was doing. He just wouldn't get off of him. He just shoved him.
He did, yeah. It looked bad.
So, kind of ruined both their days. And then, again, no SHR in the top 20 besides Kevin Harvick. So we kind of, we see where that team is still. You know, still doing garbage. And then, lastly, the tire. Okay. So, I've been watching NASCAR since, I would say, probably when I was 3 or 4. I don't really remember. The first race I remember vividly is the 2005 Daytona 500. So I will say I've been watching avidly since 2005. Every time there has been a tire even touching the fucking grass in the infield, it's been a caution. Every single time. You can look back on the history of NASCAR cautions because there's a tire in the infield, sometimes even on pit road. There has been always a caution, no matter what. Even if it's 2 laps to go, there's a fucking tire on the infield, instant caution. So we had Chris Buescher. I mean, he could be Christopher Buescher. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I'm just saying Chris Buescher because Christopher sounds really weird. So Chris Buescher was leading. You know, they're cycling through green flag stops. And there's a tire sitting in the middle of the grass. So I'm like, okay, there's going to be a caution. You know, this is going to change up the strategy a little bit. There's going to be some people, you know, lap down, got to give the wave around, yada, yada, yada. There's going to be some different cars up here. Then another lap goes by. I'm like, oh, they still haven't called it. Then, you know, 5 more go by. And then 10 more. And then literally after the green flag stop cycled through, they called the caution. That is the most manipulation I've ever seen in a race. That was just so, like, they could not argue in any way, shape, or form that they did not manipulate the finish to that race. They waited till all the green flag stops were done so they can call the caution. That is absolute BS. And I'm telling you, any time there has been a tire, even sniffing the grass, there has been a caution. There could be a tire fucking 10 feet away from the pit box, and they've called cautions because of it. Every time there is a tire that is outside the reach of the pit crew and is rolling towards the racetrack, there has been a caution. They manipulated that finish, and they know it. They would have had a restart regardless. There would have been weirder names. But they manipulated that so bad. That was awful. That's embarrassing to see that. Honestly. Because I was just looking at Twitter and everyone was just bitching about this. So I'm like, okay. So I went and looked for it myself. That was absolute horseshit. There is no other way, shape, or form around it. That was race manipulation right there. So, I mean, it was a good solid race, but that was just pure manipulation right there. They were going to get a restart regardless, but they just waited till green flag stops, so then they can get a restart, and then they can get another one, and blah, blah, blah. So they just wanted all the restarts. So that was pure manipulation. That was terrible. That is like, a referee in a football game missing obvious pass interference, and everyone in the stadium knows it. Literally everyone on Twitter, like NASCAR Twitter, saw. They're like, oh, where's the caution? Where's it going to be? Oh, is it going to be now? Nope, no caution. And then someone's like, if they call it after Chris Buescher pits, Chris Buescher pits 2 laps later, oh, there's a caution. It got dangerous, even though it has to move in 5 laps. Huh. Pure manipulation. Absolute horseshit. Race was fine. Good race. I'm going to give it 65 out of 100. Nothing special. Just a Kansas race. It's not a classic. It's going to be remembered, though, for that bullshit tire call. I can tell you that.
Understandable. Yeah, it was definitely weird. Only thing I really have to add to that would be, Harvick got P2, which was nice to see.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Didn't he have, fresh tires or something at the end?
Yeah, he did. They thought that actually Harvick was going to overtake Kyle Busch for the win because of how fresh his tires were.
He was close.
Kyle Busch, man, birthday boy.
Yeah,
he went out there and he left it all out on the track.
He's never lost on his birthday.
That's crazy. That's a good statistic.
It's really weird to think about.
Yeah, so I think Harvick was in 5th when the Laney or the Blaney and Larson thing happened, and then I think, assuming that Brad was actually in 3rd,
right?
Because I remember Brad going to the top of the track and basically throwing his day away.
Oh
almost.
Yeah. He blocked the shit out of Chase. He slid up the track. I think he just got in too hard.
So yeah, I don't know. Harvick had a chance. If there was one more lap, I think he would have caught Kyle Busch. But Kyle Busch had one heck of a race all day. So yeah. I gave it a 70 instead of a 65. I actually kind of liked watching that race.
Yeah, it was a good race. Just the manipulation, really,
that kind of threw it off.
Yeah, so gave it a little bit lower, but that was Kansas. Kyle Busch on the board, 10th winner in 11th races. So, that's interesting to think about. Kyle Busch, has he turned his season around?
Hopefully, for his sake.
Right. So now we move on to Darlington.
Old Darlington.
Oh, what a joy Mr. Darlington was. So it started out, I watched this whole race. I almost watched it again. That's how much I loved it. So Chase Elliott and Eric Almirola started in the rear. We'll come to that in a second. So with Eric Almirola starting in the rear, he's back in traffic trying to make up spots. He gets a little loose in front of Ricky Stenhouse, and Stenhouse bumps him, and he crashes on the inside wall. Ends his day on like lap 6. This has been kind of that season for Eric Almirola. Tough year. I think he's like 28th in points or something. I mean, he's just had ridiculous, like, no luck. And then today, today didn't help at Darlington. So
we had 2 races today.
Yeah, we had doubleheader.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so Eric Almirola, lap, I think around 5 or 6 out of the race. That was
very early. Yeah.
I would have been so sad if I was an Eric Almirola fan. But then we had 750 horsepower. You know my feelings about the package. You know, I'm not typically a fan of the 550 horsepower package. I'll say when the race is good, and it's not. Doesn't matter on the package. I just would rather prefer my race cars to have them. Essentially, I want 900 horsepower, but good luck getting that again. One can dream. And then low downforce where drivers are battling their cars as well as each other. And the whole day, cars are slipping and sliding. I mean, you heard it from the minute the broadcast started. Mike Joy, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer are all talking about the 750 horsepower package, but how these cars be slipping and sliding. So I think that says something, you know, how much like they're talking about the specific package. Because they want to see it too, you know. I think
it's a fun package.
It just shows off driver skill better than the 550 horsepower package. I mean, we saw today there's a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of newcomers. We had like the Roush cars up there. Tyler Reddick was top 5 all day. Ross Chastain was up there for a little bit as well. There's, you know, some new names. Chase Briscoe was also up there. It's a driver's racetrack, you know. Separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
Especially with the 750 horsepower package. So it was awesome racing. Slipping and sliding. I know Truex fucking beat down on the field. But if you look like in different like areas of the track between other guys, there's battles like the entire race. Everyone's battling each other, well, except for Truex when he had like a 7-second lead. But you know, now we have like a time interval fucking society. People be like, oh well, he was 4.5 seconds ahead. This race sucked. This race sucked because he was 4 seconds ahead. Well, this is why we have the 550 horsepower package. So, and then people still get big leads out there, and you know we don't say anything because well they're 1/10 away from each other. Everyone is except for that one guy. But they can almost pass them, but they really can't. See, with this, you know, they're a little bit more spread out, but it's actually, you know, drivers, you know, doing the work instead of mostly the car. So that's why I like the 750 horsepower package. I wish it would stay forever, but we get it back at Dover, and then Coda. It's going to be interesting as well. So we get at least 3 straight weeks of 750 horsepower package awesomeness. So that's great. Anyways, back to the race. Kyle Busch blew a right rear, or it corded when he took the lead. He was about to lead his 18,000th career lap, and then he blew a tire. But he rebounded for top 5 finish. And then Keselowski started up front, towards the front. I think he started on pole. And he struggled the whole day. Like, he was like in the 20s. Like, he was just terrible today. And Ross Chastain, stage 1, they're running about 10th. So, you know, a good day for Ross Chastain. and they threw it all away in stage 1. I don't know why they stayed out. Why the fuck did you stay out at Darlington, the most abrasive track on the circuit? And they're like, oh, we're going to stay out on old tires. And then they became a lap down. Basically ruined their day. They were lap down the entire race. I think they finished like 15th or something. But they should have probably finished 10th or within the 10s. And then Bubba Wallace was fighting hard in stage 1. You know, he's trying to stay in front of Truex. Maybe he's trying to help out his boss a little bit too. Truex won stage 1. And then another Stewart Haas car has trouble. Cole Custer was on the inside. Not John Hunter Nemechek, Jesus. Anthony Alfredo and Quinn Houff. So Quinn Houff looked like he got a little tight. Alfredo tried to go underneath him, and then he got into him. Slid down the track, hit Cole Custer. Cole Custer goes in the wall, just like his teammate Almirola earlier in the day. So that's another Stewart Haas car out of the race. And then Kurt Busch crashed about 5 laps later. It looked like Bubba just tagged him in the back and sent him around. So Kurt Busch is kind of in a bad spot. He's outside the playoffs. He's like 20th in points. So he's gonna have to get out of his rut to, get the playoffs. And then some split strategy. It looked Hamlin and Briscoe stayed out actually. They only ran about 10 or so laps on their tires. I think it was even less than that. And Hamlin and Briscoe was in the top 2, and then the other people went and pitted. They kind of stayed up there. It kind of helped out. I know Hamlin finished top 5, and then Briscoe was, I think, near top 10. So it kind of helped out his day. He was running like in the 20s, like he usually does with these races. But he had a good drive today. Nice top 15 finish. Can't complain about that. And we gotta talk about Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman has more tire troubles. So that's unfortunate for the 48 team because they have speed, but they just cannot, get the finishes they deserve. So another bad day for the 48 team. Hopefully they can rebound at Dover. Wow, I'm all over, man. And then Byron with the 10th straight top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on a roll.
Looking good for him.
But I thought that was a great race. I gave it a little bit of a boost because it did have the 750 horsepower package. So I gave it a nice Mimi 78 out of 100. 78 for one reason, because Martin Truex's old number. So 78 out of 100. I thought that was a great race. Fun battles between the whole day. Slipping and sliding. How can you not love it?
Only thing, again, I'm going to add on is that Kyle Larson, again, looks good when it's too late. With a couple of laps to go is when he decides, oh, yeah, I got to shoot up, try and get first. And then he splits the gap between the 8 and the 6.
Oh, that was
insane.
That was sacks. I was I was getting up my seat. I'm like, oh, you can't do that. And he did it. And I'm like, whoa. And I was it was splooge all over the walls.
And then,
just gloss over it.
To touch on the fact that he looked good when it was too late, it was another case where maybe a couple laps and he would have taken over. But the fact that Truex dominated the entire race and probably would have been able to go another couple of laps on those tires, I don't think there was a chance. But all in all, I think I'm going to go ahead of you on this one. I'm going to give Darlington an 80.
Wow.
It was very enjoyable.
I told you see the difference between 550 and 750.
Oh, yeah. It's night and day.
And especially at Darlington,
Yeah. It's also, it's just fun to see the drivers have fun, too, because
Oh
It
yeah,
just seems like this package, they're enjoying it more.
yeah. That's another thing. I liked how every driver said they had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Don't you think you'd want your drivers to be having fun out there? You know,
You'd think that, but I
because
hate to say it, but I feel like it's more money involved than anything.
well, yeah, of course.
So,
But I mean, wouldn't you think like if every driver came out and was like, "Oh, that was a blast today." You know, don't
yeah,
don't you want your guys having fun?
you would think so. Yeah, you would really think so.
Because you think, it would make a better show, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
because then everybody comes out and instead of complaining like, "Oh yeah, my car was trashed today," they'd be like, "Yeah, even though we weren't top of the grid, no, we still had fun."
yeah, it was fun battling that guy.
Yeah.
He held on better. He had the better car. Got back in
Yeah.
the throttle faster than I could. So I don't even want to get into it because I could go all day about it. But
Yeah, right. And
yeah,
then to add one more little piece, Harvick has now become the first driver with 1,200 starts in all NASCAR series combined,
shout out
which
to
was pretty sick.
yeah, shout out to Harvick. Freaking, been around 20 plus years now. It's kind of insane.
1,200 starts, man. Oof.
Congrats on him. I think Kyle Busch is also close to him, so I think he'll probably get passed by Kyle if Kyle
All
keeps
rowdy.
racing how he's racing.
Yeah.
So that was our reviews. Yeah, hit both races. Good races, good solid races, nothing to complain about. And then, all right, so we're gonna take a little break before we go on to our preview. So my vacation, I went to Orlando, Florida. Blah blah blah. Went to Universal and Disney on all those. But I had to hit up Daytona because I never been to Daytona. I've watched it for. I remember 15 straight fucking Daytona 500s. I've watched everyone, start to finish. Even the 2014 or it was 2014 one that went till like 2 in the morning. I watched it the whole race because I'm a fucking nerd. Anyhow, never been to the track. Always been a pipe dream, I would say. So I knew we were going to, Orlando. And I know Orlando's not that far away from Daytona. So one of the days, I'm like, all right, I told my girlfriend, hey, let's go in the car. So then we went in the car. It was about an hour away. Then we drove up and, we take a tour of the track. And let me tell you, if you've never been to Daytona, it is a spectacle. It is everything you see on TV and more. And, we took a tour around the track. This is the first time I've ever been here. I'm looking at it. I'm being a big nerd. I'm like, oh, that's the winner's circle. And I'm just looking at everything. I'm, totally in my own world. My childhood is coming to me. I've seen so many of these races. I'm like, oh, my God, that's where Austin Dillon flipped. Oh, I'm, looking at everything. So we go on the track and stuff, and let me tell you, TV does not do the banking justice at all. I've been to races before. I've been to Indianapolis. I've watched the Brickyard, and then I've been to some Michigan races. So I've been to a few races. I haven't been in a while. Daytona is a whole another animal. Let me tell you, that track is big. I mean, Indy and Michigan is obviously big, but Daytona looks so huge. The fucking banking. You're like, oh yeah, you just turn. Let me tell. It's like looking up a wall. Literally a straight wall is how aggressive that banking is. I was looking at it. I'm like, how do they even turn? How do they even turn their car? It's insane. It looks like a Hot Wheels track is how insane this banking is. But, we go on the track and, I'm taking videos and stuff. And then we stop at the start finish. And he's like, okay. So go walk up the banking. The start finish, we know the tri-oval. There's no banking there. It's straight. No, it's not. I was literally almost crawling to get up this banking. I mean, I'm not literally crawling, but it was like walking up a steep incline. Just straight up. I'm like, this is the tri-oval start-finish line, too, and it has this much banking? Is this insane? Like, I know it has some, but on TV, it looks like it has none. But yeah, it's almost straight up as well. I mean, it has obviously less than the turns, but yeah, it was insane just getting on there. And then he let us, like, sign our name and stuff. I didn't think until the next day I should have put Racing Bros NASCAR podcast. So, you know, if one person saw it, they're like, ooh, I saw you at Daytona. But, nah, I didn't put that. But, yeah, it was a spectacle. I almost cried. That's how, like, excited I was to go. Like, that has been my dream ever since I was a child. Like, I want to see, like, obviously the Daytona 500. And maybe one day that I'll go see that chance. Hopefully soon. But I almost cried going on that track. Like, I was a big nerd. I'm looking at it. And then, you know, we see the Hall of Fame and stuff. I saw McDowell's actual Daytona 500 winning car. That was pretty cool. I saw the Daytona 500 trophy. And then my girlfriend, she's like, do they get that big trophy? Like the huge trophy with everyone's name on it. Like the Daytona 500 trophy. I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit. Like it was almost as big as her. I'm like, Jesus. But we saw that trophy and all that. But then also, at the end of the trip, or end of the day, the dude comes up to us and he's like, hey, do you want lug nuts off the winning car? And my mind's like, what? And everyone's like, no. They're like, literally, I think everyone said no. I'm like, are you guys fucking insane? Like, give me all of them. So he gave me a couple. I gave one to my dad. So here is a lug nut off the winning Daytona 500 car. I know it's probably not numbers matching, so I don't know. You could be lying to us, but I got a lug nut off NASCAR, so it's on my desk now. I'm a huge nerd. But yeah, I just want to tell you this is about, you know, Daytona. It's insane. You guys have to go.
Yeah, an insane 31-degree banking.
It's crazy. Like,
I couldn't even imagine.
Brian, literally the pictures I sent, because I'm sending Brian pictures, because I'm like, oh my god, I gotta tell someone I'm freaking out. And then
I'm the only person that would share those feelings with you that you know.
Yeah, see, I literally could not text anyone else, because they'd be like, what are you talking about? It's a fucking circle. They'd be like, what are you freaking, like, even Diamond's looking at me, I'm like, dude, you don't even understand. This is literally what I've wanted to do my entire life right now. I was almost in tears, like, literally. Like, I don't cry often, but I was almost literally in tears on the track, like being a big baby, like, oh my god, I'm here. But it was incredible. But we gotta go to a race.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep. So
I am 100% down for that.
That is our podcast goal, to go to a race. Maybe it might not be Daytona, but
just a race.
Right.
A race would be nice.
But we got to figure out Daytona. We got to go there because, Brian, you don't understand how all the fan zones are. Like, they have this huge fan zone in the infield. Mm-hmm. And literally, like, on the track, like, they have the cup garages. You can literally walk up to a window like you're ordering fucking McDonald's. And then be like, hey, Kyle Larson, sign my hat. And just throw it in this window. And then they'll sign the hat. I'm like, they do that?
My.
I'm like,
that's cool.
He's like, yeah, we made those slots for a reason. So people could just slot. I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, that's cool.
So, I just want to tell you guys about that. I don't know if anyone's been to Daytona that's listened, but you guys have to go. It is literally the world center of racing. It is a spectacle. It is amazing. The fucking, the entrances are these big grand entrances. So they had like 5 different entrances you can go in. And then there's like sponsors to each one because, of course, NASCAR race. We got to sponsor everything.
Oh, of course.
But each individual entrance has its own thing and its own sponsor. And then they hand out shit. and they like design their own crap, and it's I can't tell you. Like, you see the giant "Welcome to Daytona Beach" sign, the bridge, like the big bridge,
And you just start getting chills.
and then you see the big speedway just coming around the turn. You just see the huge speedway, and then you pull in, and you see the Motorsports Hall of Fame, and you see, Bill France and his wife, the statue, and you see the big Dale statue, and
Man.
it was incredible. So I just want to let you guys know that I did go to Daytona, and how it was. First time ever being near the track, on the track, besides in the video game or watching it on TV. So it was absolutely amazing. It blew my mind. I've been watching this race for like 80% of my life, and it was even more incredible there than it was on TV, or I couldn't even imagine. Like, I was just dreaming how it would be, and it's incredible. So, yeah, that was my trip.
One day.
Yeah, that was my trip where I took the week off. So I did do some, I guess, NASCARing, if that's a term. We're going to make it a term. But
Just like the onions.
yeah, just like the onions.
Our old onion scale.
The onions haven't been pulled out. That's early.
Yeah, that is early.
2 months ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was my trip. Just wanted to show you my little lug nut and then stuff like that. Just tell you about Daytona. So if anyone needs an advocate to go to Daytona, you gotta go. Just make the trip. Find somewhere. Leave the wife. I'm going to Daytona. It's like, see ya.
That's definitely a goal.
One day, Brian. And one day.
Even not just Daytona, like just going to any race at all.
Well, yeah, that is a goal, but one day me and you are going to Daytona.
But Daytona, yes, for sure.
Because I'm telling you, your mind will be blown. Literally seeing the track. You'll be like, how the fuck do they race on here? It looks like a Hot Wheels track.
I feel like I should go to Talladega first, and then just be like, oh, well, comparing this to Daytona, oh my.
I would go to Daytona because it's got more history and stuff. I mean,
right.
I want to see Talladega, but yeah, Daytona is just insane. Like, I'm like, I was just looking at it, and I'm like, how did they race here in 1959? Like, could you imagine like the late 50s, early 60s going to Daytona 500?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Like, you're just seeing these you're in fucking steel bleachers probably. You know, you're burning up. These fucking cars are roaring around this track. You're like, how the fuck is this happening?
I'm sure it wasn't 31 degrees then. I'm sure it was probably a little bit less of an angle, but that's still insane.
It
blows my mind.
It looks almost impossible. This is like, I'm like, how do they race here? And then we actually, so then I didn't know this until I got there. The actual beach, Daytona Beach, it's only like 5 minutes away from the speedway. And
that makes sense.
We actually drove on the beach, and then I visited. I wish I would have took video. I should have took videos.
You should have.
I don't know why I didn't have. Well, good job, Zach.
Well, you were... No. You were enjoying your moment. I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I should see. I took video. I should post that on the podcast or Racing Bros Instagram page.
Yeah,
I might do that, but I don't know if you guys want to see vacation stuff. But I might post some Daytona stuff. But yeah, like we actually saw like the first turn, like where they used to race on the beach, like actually race. Man. And it was just like, it's just a history moment. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, there was actually cars right there. And then, my girlfriend doesn't know anything about racing. She's just like, why are you staring at a fucking sand? I'm like, this is my moment. Don't talk to me. She only knows like one race car driver because I told her about Dale Earnhardt. And that's the only one she has any history of. And I took like a picture by him. She's like, "Oh, is that the guy, Dale?" I'm like, "That is Dale." And she's like, "Oh, hi, Dale." So she only knows Dale, but yeah, that was my trip. I just wanted to talk to you guys about Daytona. It was absolutely incredible. I was fanboying, almost crying like a little girl because of a fucking 2.5 mile fucking oval.
It's definitely good you had a nice time though.
Oh, it was fantastic, and that's the only time I wanted to bring up my trip because, I hate when people's like, well, I went here, and then I'm just gonna brag in your face. Well,
Yeah.
this is this is prevalent to what we talk about on a weekly basis,
Right.
so I thought it'd be nice to bring up a couple minutes before we previewed Dover. So that was our little vacation segment on what I did. So that's why we didn't have a podcast, because I was crying on Daytona's Oval.
I would have been too. Don't worry.
Well, when you get there,
Oh yeah, it'll
Dude,
happen.
I don't even care you're married, Brian. If you're getting a divorce, you're telling the wife we're going to Daytona. She can
There it
either
is.
she can either pack her bags, put the fucking kids in daycare, send it off to, your mom. Your mom will watch them. Be like, Mom, going to Daytona. She's like, okay, I understand, got you.
Just make sure you take a picture of Denny's car for me.
I'd be like, hey, Brian's mom, can you watch my kids too? But now we go on to Dover. So, Dover, Delaware. 750 horsepower package. Martin Truex's hometown track. Concrete. The Monster Mile.
Really fun track to watch.
Oh, it's fun to watch.
Really, really fun to watch.
I have grown I've grown. Good job, Zach. It's not like you freaking graduated high school or anything. I grew, not grown. Whatever. I'm not an English major.
It'd be I've grown, but yeah.
I barely speak the English. I barely speak the English. I'm barely readable. We have a visitor. She's getting chips. Okay, she's gone. Anyways. So, Dover. I've grown a deep appreciation actually for Dover. I used to think when I was younger that Dover was so boring. I'm like, who the fuck watches Dover? But, racing on it and my games and simulators, gotta make sure all the iRacing quotas met. I've actually grown an appreciation for it because it is bumpy as hell, especially the turn 3 and 4. This is shown on TV, but those cars it's really bumping on the track. So I've grown an appreciation for Dover. It's a rhythm track, concrete. It's unique. It's not asphalt or anything like that. I also realized just now that I have to make a pick, and I didn't do that at all. So we're gonna go off the cuff. First number I see is 11, so we're going with Denny Hamlin.
Okay.
First Denny pick. Literally the only reason I picked Denny was because the recording had 11 the second I looked over, so we're gonna go with 11. Denny Hamlin. For my dark horse, what is our next number gonna be? Cole Custer. Cole Custer. He actually ran pretty decent last year at Dover, so we're gonna go with him as a dark horse. Also because the recording was 41. So
There it is.
Denny Hamlin and Cole Custer. I think that's my first Denny pick all year, so hopefully you can get it done.
Yep. It is your first, as I've already picked him twice, and he's just gotten good points. Can't complain.
Yeah, you're still 250 points up on me, so
Yeah, as it stands, 412 to 291.
you can pick fucking Josh Bilicki.
So, I wanted to give a little update on SHR because I heard you talking about them earlier. I actually have the standings up. So Almirola is currently in 28th in playoff standings.
Good job.
Cole Custer is 26th. Chase Briscoe is 25th, and Kevin Harvick is 7th. So
Good job,
Kevin
SHR.
Kevin Harvick still has a chance to win and be the only SHR car in the playoffs, but we'll see how that goes. As for Dover, my winner has 2 previous wins at Dover, 8 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 622 laps led, and an average finish of 4th. It is no other than the man who has already dominated 3 races this year and is currently second to his teammate just over points, not over wins, Martin Truex Jr. I had to do it. I really had to.
Ooh.
The man has been one heck of a driver this year, and he has dominated Dover for previous years. So,
It's not a bad pick.
yeah,
I was also thinking about Martin Truex, but no, we're going with Denny Hamlin. He's getting his first
going
win.
with his teammate. Yeah, the teammate that is in first as of points, but not as of wins.
And
Um,
I'm going to make a super hot take here. I'm doubling down. Martin Truex
boy.
not even going to sniff the top 10 this
Really?
race.
Okay.
Nope. Something's going to happen. He's going to be in
Well,
the back.
out of his last 10 races, that would be that would suck for him because he's only been out of the top 10 once in his past 10 races at Dover. So
Not even going to
you're looking to
sniff
make it twice.
the top 10.
Okay. Understandable. Alright.
And then I'm calling my shot. Denny Hamlin sweeping both stages, getting max points.
And then hitting fourth.
And Martin Truex is not even going to be in the top 10. He's going to get stage points, but he's not going to finish top 10. That's my hot take for the week. We'll see how. Maybe we'll start doing that, my hot take for the week, because I can't make up on points. So that is my hot take. Also, watch out for that 48. They got history at Dover. Old Bowman is not bad at Dover, so we'll see how the 48 team does.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Hamlin and Cole Custa, and then Truex is not even going to sniff the top 10. He might not even sniff the top 15. That's how bad of a day he's going to have. He's going to have a loose wheel. Last stage.
With your luck, that's going to be Denny.
No, with my luck, it'll happen stage 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But
as for my dark horse pick, I picked Daniel Suarez because he's looking strong.
Danny Dimes?
I would like to see the 99 back in the top 10 this week again.
Good.
He has 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s at Dover, so I think it's possible.
Totally could.
Yeah. Those are my picks. Martin Truex and Daniel Suarez.
Well, I think that's a podcast right there.
Yeah.
So, we're back. We are not dead, so don't think we're not posting anything. Yeah, this has been Kansas and Darlington review. This is our Dover preview. Thank you all for coming by and, hanging out for an hour. Seeing what we're spewing out of our mouth, 10 minutes of actual race car knowledge and then 50 minutes of shit. So, glad you can join us. As always, Brian, thank you for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. And we will see you next week. We're back to weekly again. So, we just had that one little week break, but, we're doing every week. We will not miss a week. Promise, unless Brian goes to Daytona with me. So, maybe he will. But anyways,
Maybe.
we'll see ya next Wednesday. Hopefully my pick does well. Brian's pick doesn't have to do well. So, we'll see you all next week.